Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. It's in the description below. Reach out to me directly at tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we're discussing a P-Series Rolex Oyster Perpetual Cosmograph Daytona reference 116523. This is one of the earliest examples of the in-house caliber Rolex Daytona with a gorgeous black Tahitian mother-of-pearl dial and a steel yellow-gold two-tone case. A lovely piece, handsome, and again with a serial number that places it smack dab in the year 2000. This was one of the very first to come out of the Rolex factory with the caliber 4130. These also remain an outstanding value today. On the wrist, one of the nice things about the Daytona is that not much has changed aesthetically since 1988 with the arrival of the first 40mm automatic winding Daytona. The timepiece is almost identical, a body double for that original, meaning unlike virtually every other Rolex model, this one has proved fairly ageless in both size and in style. As a result, there has been absolutely no planned obsolescence. My wrist is 16 centimeters in circumference. The watch is 40 millimeters in diameter. It is 12.3 millimeters thick. From lug to lug, it is 46.3 millimeters, and if you include the solid end links of the bracelet, across the wrist, it is 50.6 millimeters with a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Now you can see it would have no trouble fitting underneath my cuff, so if you want to wear it with a dress cuff, that's absolutely fine. This is a wonderful dress watch option. It's also suitable for a wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters circumference, so you're going to find that this watch wears really nicely on a smaller wrist. Taking a quick look at the hardware, you can see the bracelet hasn't changed much externally. You have solid end links, solid center links, a combination of 904L steel for the case as well as the bracelet. Rolex using 904L because it is more resistant to corrosion than 316. A small difference, but Rolex is always about refinement, and incremental gains, even at the margins, are always Rolex's mantra: never stand still. The 904L steel and the yellow gold crafted into a clasp that is a little bit more archaic than what's currently available. This is a slightly different generation. Pre-2007, you did not have the lift lock disengagement system that you would find on later Oyster clasps. Instead, you have just the clamshell lock, which is quite secure. But internally, I'm happy to say that it mostly works the same with regard to Easy Link, so you still have that 5mm tool-free in and out adjustment system that allows you to take in or take out length. And as you can see internally, probably better from this angle, there are divots drilled inside the clasp, so you have the ability to use a strap tool to re-anchor the bracelet in the clasp. So a couple of different ways to size. You can see there are half links as well as full-size links fixed by screws, Easy Link, and then 3 divots drilled internally. Rolling over to the case, you can see the case is in good shape. It's been polished, but professionally, and it retains good volume, shape, and symmetry about the lugs at all 4 corners, and I'll really let you see those quite closely so you can decide for yourself, but it is a nicely preserved watch. And as you can see, the bezel is in quite good condition. All of the indices, all of the numerals remain quite distinct. There's been a little bit of fading to the lacquer, so there is some wear from use, but you can see everything remains sharp, distinct, and properly proportioned. There's no deformation of any of the letters or characters or numerals. Jumping up to the dial, this is where the watch really shines. You could appreciate this black Tahitian mother-of-pearl dial because while technically black, there are so many undertones and overtones that it almost looks like a kaleidoscope or the colors of the rainbow. We have lovely black-filled, radially arrayed yellow gold Roman numerals, yellow gold hands, yellow gold Rolex coronet to resist oxidation over time. We have a gold on mother-of-pearl print, and then we have mother-of-pearl for the sub-registers with polished chapter rings for each one. Now, underneath all of this, the Rolex caliber 4130, which was new back in 2000. 44 jewels, bidirectional automatic winding, 72-hour power reserve, stop seconds or hacking. It features a 4 hertz beat rate, which means 8 beats per second or 28,800 vibrations per hour. It is a COSC certified Swiss chronometer, and for durability's sake, it features a rotor bearing, which was new to the Rolex catalog. This was the first Rolex movement to get a rotor bearing rather than the old and somewhat shock-prone jeweled staff. So this is a bearing system that is better against shock. It also has a full balance bridge and a free sprung balance to better resist shock on the wrist. And because of the free sprung balance architecture and a handmade Breguet overcoil hairspring, the watch can be made to keep very regular time in any position, the better to earn its COSC Swiss chronometer test. New for 2000 was the addition of a vertical clutch engagement system. So with the vertical clutch, there's no jump or stagger to the seconds hand once it starts up. A conventional lateral clutch will see the hand jump about a second and a half before it settles down to its cadence. With a vertical clutch, there is no play. Also, because of the vertical clutch, you can just leave the chronograph running full time, which means that if you like to have your center seconds along with minutes and hours, just ignore the chronograph registers. You've got your 3 hands at center, leave the chrono running, no additional wear and tear to the watch. And of course, there is a column wheel function selector, which means the timepiece has a nice crisp feel under the finger as you actuate the chronograph. All of this 100 meters water resistant. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details. We're back with the mother of pearl Daytona in the dark, 2 hands loomed.